Millionaire CEO secretly follows young black maid home. Triplet's son's discovery left him speechless. Elliot Morgan was one of the richest men in the city. As CEO of a huge tech company, he lived in a fancy penthouse, drove expensive cars, and wore suits that cost more than most people made in a month. He was known for being smart, serious, and always busy. But lately, Elliot had been feeling something missing in his life, something money couldn't buy. One rainy afternoon, after a long day at work, Elliot noticed something unusual. His office cleaner, a young black woman named Maya, was quietly wiping his desk when she smiled to herself. It was a warm, kind smile that made Elliot stop and look at her for a moment. She was always polite, never complained, and worked with care. That night, curiosity got the better of him. As Maya left the building, Elliot followed her from a distance. He told himself it was just out of interest, maybe because she reminded him of someone, or maybe because she was different from everyone else who surrounded him. People who wanted favors or money. Maya took a bus across town, then walked several blocks to a small neighborhood filled with older apartment buildings. Elliot stayed in his car, watching as she entered a worn-down building with peeling paint. He sat there for a few minutes, unsure why he had followed her. Then he saw the door open again. Out ran three little boys. They were laughing and shouting, clearly excited. They hugged Maya's legs the moment they saw her. She laughed too, hugging them back. Triplets. Elliot couldn't help but watch, amazed. The boys looked about 6 years old, all with big smiles, curly hair, and bright eyes. Maya knelt down, said something to them, and they all ran back inside. Elliot stayed in his car for a while longer, heart pounding. Something about the scene touched him deeply. He didn't know why, but seeing Maya with those kids made him feel something he hadn't felt in years: joy, warmth, maybe even hope. Over the next few weeks, Elliot found himself staying late at the office more often, waiting for Maya to finish cleaning. He started saying goodnight to her every evening and sometimes asked how her day was. At first, Maya was confused. The boss had never spoken to her like that before. Then came the snowstorm. It was so bad that the buses stopped running. When Maya tried to walk home, the streets were icy and dangerous. Elliot saw her struggling through the snow outside the office window. Without thinking, he grabbed his coat and went outside. "Let me drive you," he offered. Maya hesitated. "You don't have to do that, Mr. Morgan." "I want to," he said simply. She finally agreed, and during the ride, they talked. Not about work, but about life. Maya told him about the triplets, Jaden, Jordan, and Julius, how she had taken care of them since they were born, raising them alone after their mother passed away. She was their aunt, not their mom, but she loved them like her own. "They're full of energy," she said with a laugh. "Always getting into things, but they're my heart." Elliot listened quietly, touched by her strength and kindness. When they arrived at her building, he watched her carry the boys' school bags and help them inside through the snow. He waited until the lights came on upstairs before driving off. From that night on, something changed in Elliot. He started coming to the office earlier, leaving notes for Maya thanking her for cleaning. One day, he left her a gift card to a grocery store. Another time, he sent over new winter boots for the boys. Maya was surprised but grateful. Still, she never asked questions. Then came the biggest surprise of all. One morning, Maya arrived at work to find a letter on her cleaning cart. It was from Elliot. "Dear Maya, I've seen your love, your strength, and your sacrifices. I want to help you and the boys in any way I can. No strings attached. You deserve happiness. Please let me support the boys' education. Let me help you give them the best future possible. Thank you for reminding me what really matters in life." With gratitude, Elliot, tears welled up in Maya's eyes. She couldn't believe it. A man like Elliot, a millionaire, cared enough to see her, truly see her. And so, life began to change. Elliot became part of the boys' lives. He visited sometimes, bringing books, puzzles, and toys. He taught them how to play chess and read them stories. The boys called him Mr. Elliot at first, but soon it became Uncle Elliot. He helped them get into a better school. He hired tutors. He even fixed up their apartment, making sure it was warm and safe. But more than anything, he gave them time. Real, honest time. Maya watched as the boys grew smarter, happier, and more confident. And she saw Elliot change too. He smiled more, laughed more. He wasn't just a rich man anymore. He was family. Years later, when the triplets graduated high school, all with honors, Elliot stood in the crowd, clapping proudly. After the ceremony, the boys ran to him and hugged him tight. "Thanks for everything, Uncle Elliot," they said. He wiped a tear from his eye and whispered, "You kids made me a better man." And he meant it, because sometimes the most important lessons in life come from the least expected places. A quiet maid, 3 little boys, and a heart willing to change.